Hi everybody, it's Natalie here, and today we are doing a follow-up LOONA reading. This one has been brought to you by a LOONA fan, requested to remain anonymous, so this is through Etsy. So thank you very much for booking this reading. Of course, you can always just request readings in the comments, but if you really want me to do a reading and you're also wanting to help support the channel, then purchasing one like that, the celebrity readings on Etsy, is always very helpful and makes them a priority. So, we are going to get into the question. I'm just going to read it all out for you and then we're going to get into the reading, okay? So bear with me. So we've got a list of all of their names. The group name's LOONA. The question is, I saw your first LOONA reading and was kind of floored by some of the things predicted and that eventually came true, so I would like this to be a follow-up reading since more events have happened since, including their hiatus, so their break, I believe that word means, ending, so their break ending, their hiatus ending, with their recent So What comeback, Lee-soo, and I'm sorry if I butcher any names, by the way, Lee-soo Man, so founder of SM, being involved in their latest album, member Haseul going on hiatus, their first win, and of course internal changes within the company. So now I'm curious to know about their future. Will there still be successes or problems in the group encounters, the state of their company, BBC, and the members, good things or not so good things that are happening, and future activities. So how I think this may work to do a reading is we'll kind of go through LOONA and then I may pull a couple of cards just for each member and see where this takes us. So what comes up for LOONA, and then by the cards I pull for them, may indicate which person we're talking about in situation, because it can be hard because of the amount of people involved to identify always exactly who's who. So we have the Mermaid Tarot here. Oh. I try to shuffle on camera, but I'm leaning over a bit, so all right, LOONA. What's coming up for LOONA? Oh. Okay. Change is coming up for LOONA. This is the Death card. I like it in this deck because it doesn't usually automatically scare people straight away. It's not like a Skull and Bones type of deck, the Mermaid Tarot. So Death is not a bad card. It's actually a very good card. It means that we're transitioning. This would almost be like going from primary school to high school, or going from high school to like being in the workforce, or whatever you call it in your country, or university. You know, and entering the workforce, that's a change. It's transforming. It's like your environment's different. You may still be doing a similar thing, but it's a change. So this could definitely be indicating the internal changes and what's setting up for them. Also, it's a Major Arcana card. So this is your soul's journey. All right, it usually indicates the big things in life, so things that are setting you up for the future, things that you may not quite understand or you may struggle with, that eventually when you're looking back on it, you're like, oh, if this and this and this didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am today, I wouldn't be the person I am, and I wouldn't change that. So, you know, it's those kind of changes, to try and explain it a bit better. All right. So our theme card is the Hierophant in reverse. That would be either breaking contract, leaving. Now, I don't want people to freak out. Usually Hierophant is sort of like our marriage commitment card. So, and you can see she kind of has a a book here, so she's writing. So sometimes in this deck it can mean studying as well. It's usually breaking of a contract when it's upside down. So it's also personal freedoms and I guess challenging the norms, because when you see the Hierophant upright, it's like, oh, this is what is socially acceptable, you know, in terms of relationship, for example. Let's just say in your particular country, maybe it's completely normal and socially acceptable for you to be in a relationship that is heterosexual, so a man and a female. And it may be completely out of the box and considered a really bad thing if it was, you know, 2 men or 2 women. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just trying to use it as an example because I think that's something that most of us can comprehend and understand. So this would be like maybe the costumes they're wearing, the lyrics they're using, the way that they're performing or something. It's the energy overall that's around them seems to be that they're not conforming or fitting in, that there's these changes happening. It feels kind of like an exciting energy to me, so we will pull some more cards. For them, of course. Right. Okay, so this is a gentleman. You mentioned someone from another company. I feel like this is most likely this guy, Lisu. See, there's the change coming in that it enables him into the company. And this is usually our victim of circumstance card. However, it's upside down. When it's right side up, it's kind of like you've got a blindfold on. Normally, you're not like tied to something. Usually there's a gap and you can walk out if you want to, like there's a way out. So it's like about taking into consideration your own actions, like how some people stay in relationships and they're like, oh, I just can't leave. It's like, yes, you can. You can, like, you're choosing to be there. I think that you are underestimating your own personal power here. So other way around, it means that, okay, we're making that decision, we're stepping forward. To me is what that represents. So this gentleman here is the catalyst. He's sort of, there's been a change. He's come in and enabled this to happen. So this could definitely be connected to our Hierophant energy. We're not doing things the traditional way because he's in a different company, isn't he? They're not actually connected to SM, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Happy to be corrected. Look, there's the boss. So this would be boss of current company. Okay, so moving forward from that, so that's kind of stuff that has recently happened from what I gather. That does usually happen in tarot readings a lot of the time, the first couple of cards, because to me, the way I do it, it's kind of like a timeline. So sometimes these first few cards will be like recent events of the past or events from the past that are currently affecting you in what you're doing right now. All right, so that's kind of where that comes in, just to explain a little bit. We have 9 of Wands here. So this is effectively like, I'm trying to go on a journey, but I'm kind of stuck where I am. 6 of Wands is our performing on stage. So they may want to move forward with things because this is the energy that's around them, but there is an element of, we're trying to perform, trying to entertain, trying to please people, trying to get attention from others, and this is healing from heartbreak. So I do feel like if there was a gatekeeper or is a gatekeeper to their performances, that there's a way around that, because this is healing of that. So the relationship with that particular person may have evolved, may have changed, or this person may have been replaced, because there's definitely a healing here. All right. But this is also a very good card because it means that the things that are hurting us, we don't let them get in our way. We keep moving forward. We progress, which is a very good, optimistic mindset to have, particularly in the high pressure industry they're in. So we also have Emperor reversed. So like I said, that's kind of the boss card. This would be someone associated with their company. I don't think it is that SM guy. I feel like he's up here. This is a different, more watery energy, whereas he's more air, communication, promotional stuff. Definitely that, like, communication. This is sort of our throat chakra here on this card that is emphasized with this person. Knows what to say, when to say, how to say it, what not to share, all that kind of stuff. So does things very deliberately, or says things very deliberately. Our Emperor here, he's kind of like our King Trident in this deck, I guess you would say. Oops, turning him around. That's can be your father, but it's in this situation, it's the boss or one of the, I guess, higher ups in their company. It doesn't necessarily have to be a male. Most likely is, I would say, because we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So it's either a female who comes across as quite a masculine energy, or it's a man. So this is somebody who kind of feels, it's funny. Well, not funny, but we've got Wheel of Fortune here. We also have the Nine of Swords. So with this card here, it's kind of like the mermaids are reaching out to get the attention. So he's like the mermaid reaching up to get the attention of the person on the shore, and they have their ears, like their hands over their ears here, and they're in a tent. I don't know why they're camping out on a ledge, but seems kind of ridiculous. This is also about anxiety, fears, and worries. So there's a lot of he's gone more into his negative side, that reversed Emperor, instead of being the upright, helpful leader. He's being more, I guess it would be like, you're more possessive, you're more controlling, you're trying to dominate, and you're not, like, very flexible. It can also indicate that your leadership role has influenced and created the problem that you have, like through lack of discipline, say, in parenting, like that kind of thing. That dynamic. So he's allowed certain things but hasn't spoken up about it. There's a lot of anxiety that he has over his own position, and there's the Wheel of Fortune that was on the end there. So this one is kind of like, it's about luck, destiny, like the wheel is constantly spinning, that cycle of life. So if you had really bad luck, you're going to have really good luck. If you've had really good luck, well, then you're going to have really bad luck. It's that cycle, you know? So let's have a look. He could have been inflicting some kind of self-injury here. This card is more about perspective, in that all the kids, these are all little kids, and they're all holding swords. At first glance, can you tell, like, which one of them? I don't know if you can quite see because this is webcam video, but he's kind of got a cut on his hand and he's looking at it like, I'm bleeding. So which one of them caused the injury? It's very easy to say that this is a self-inflicted wound, because that's usually what this card represents to me. However, all the other kids have swords. How do you know he didn't get injured and then step away, you know? And I like how the penguin comforts him. He's so cute. But perspective, it's like you need to take accountability for your actions in how things played out. Intuition and the High Priestess is here. Which is really good. So that's intuition. It's about that divine knowledge, that source knowledge that we all have access to. It's about the divine feminine, and also our subconscious. So things that are bigger than ourselves. Oh yeah. So sometimes this does link into spirituality and religion a little bit too. And the moon here is, you know, the divine feminine, so female energy here. So a softer approach is required for this person. And I do feel like I had to pull it closer. It's a bit hard to read from all the way over here. 6 of Pentacles. So this one in reverse just means that maybe this person has some debt that they need to get on top of. It could be that a lot of their actions are a bit one-sided. They may give people the crumbs, so to speak. So if these are the members of LOONA, this particular person may be giving them the crumbs and making it out like, oh, I'm doing you a big favor, but they're not really. They're just like giving you stuff because it benefits them, so to speak, and they're trying to make out like, oh, they've done this really big favor when they haven't, kind of. So yeah, there seems to be a lot coming up for him. I didn't get too much on the members besides that it's more things in their environment that are changing, which I feel like was part of the question anyway. But that does seem to be an ongoing thing. So we'll shuffle again. Let's get some cards for the members, themselves, because you're probably interested in that. And hopefully I don't miss anyone. Please let me know if I do. Ooh, and I'll catch up on it. Alright. Hee-jin, please forgive me for butchering their names. I'm so sorry. Okay. So someone must have recently, if, you know, this could have been in the past too. It's kind of like that betrayal card. Feeling left out, feeling like someone stabbed you in the back. This is reversed, so it's actually the better side of it. It's like we're on the other side. So we've gotten over that. Not going to repeat the same mistake again. Quite a graphic card, I know. But this is like getting back up again after a defeat, disappointment, like a major disappointment, or a betrayal, like a friend who's no longer a friend anymore, that kind of thing. Here we have 10 of Pentacles, so her finances look really, really good. But we also have the Devil. The Devil is temptation, basically, is what it is. So, again, I like in this deck how it's not overly graphic, because then you guys who are watching it don't freak out straight away. You know, this card still freaks people out, but we've got the Devil here. So in this particular deck, she's in a cage. The cage is unlocked. She can step out of it. Temptation is there. So are you going to remain trapped by your own desires, temptations, things that you tell yourself, oh, I just couldn't help it? You know, that reminds me of like, if you've ever been in a relationship and someone's maybe cheated on you or something, and they're like, oh, I just couldn't help it. Like, we were just drunk. We just kissed. We just did, you know, whatever, etc. Fill in the blank. It's like, you can help it. I'm sorry. You like, where's your accountability here? So I do feel like there may be, and I'm not saying that it's going to be something like that for her. That's her particular struggle. Okay, it's just the example that I'm giving. Probably not a very good example. So, okay, let me just say, how about in terms of food? This is something not so sexual related. It's sort of like you're trying to lose weight and then you're like, oh, I just couldn't help it. I just have to eat this thing. You know, fill in the blank. What is it that you just have to have that's no good for you? Or like a diabetic just having to eat something that's really bad for them. You do have control over the situation. Sometimes we just don't like to admit it. And yes, I know there's things like cravings and that, but eventually it comes down to you grabbed it and put it in your mouth. You ate it. So this type of, I guess, struggle for her is what she needs to be working on. It's a major arcana card, so it's kind of like the Achilles heel of somebody, whether that's food, your personality, something that gets you angry all the time if someone speaks about something, you know. It's that Achilles heel thing. Financially, though, I'm not worried about her at all. 10 of Pentacles, that's like big happy family. You've got the generations that are listed, I guess we'll just go with that word. They're listed here. You know, they're all there. Maybe she'll be doing a bit of a family tree or looking into that kind of thing. possibly, but I'm not too overly concerned. There is no real outer influences besides her actually getting over one in the beginning, which is positive. So if you've heard of any like relationship or friendship or business thing where she was treated unfairly, she's going to get over it, and she has a lot of success coming, and the only thing really to look out for is her own, I guess, Achilles heel, her own inner struggles, that she needs to work on. So do a bit of self-work here for her. That's kind of her focus at the moment and going forward this year. Hyunjin. So we went Hee-jin and now it's Hyunjin. Oh my goodness. I just need a school in how to pronounce Korean names, I think. Korean in general, so that I don't butcher it all the time. It's her theme card. She could have a new career opportunity coming up. Ace of Pentacles. The Chariot in reverse means that she's basically going to come to a complete standstill if she hasn't already. Like, everything's just going to stop for her for some reason. We have Queen of Swords, meaning that she may have spoken out of turn or may be outspoken, have opinions that she doesn't filter as much as she should. We also have the Ace of Pentacles, meaning that there is a new opportunity for her. Maybe she can utilize this energy in that way. But the overall energy around her is Queen of Pentacles. This is being more like nurturing. She's very practical person, so really working on being able to provide financially for other people. This is kind of like our single working mom card. Sometimes it pops up. I'm not saying that that's what she is or who she is, but that's like the type of energy, if you guys know what I mean, around her. So like strong, independent woman kind of vibe for her. So things have stopped for a reason for her to move in this new direction that's leading her to being more independent and financially stable. I mean, that one seemed pretty straightforward. So Haseul or Haseul? Oh, help me, somebody. This is just going to be a game of everyone watching, like, how is she going to screw up the next name? What will she say? By all means. Okay. She could be doing songwriting or studying or something. So, her major... Okay, she's another major arcana as well. Strength. This is learning to be vulnerable and open with other people and who to be vulnerable with, and learning that that's how we connect intimately with others, and using that part of herself in order to, free other people, the people around her. So it's a big thing in our life to get to that point, and it's a very admirable quality to have in somebody. So this is really where she's at right now. Also, Four of Wands. So this is meaning her environment's good. If she was looking, now there isn't any other love life cards connected to this, but I just feel like she is in a good mental place for welcoming relationships right now. It doesn't mean that she's going to, because over here I see that her focus is on her work. This is our Knight of Pentacles card. She really wants to move forward quite quickly with her career, and she has a plan. She's got things she wants to do, and I mentioned songwriting or some sort of script writing or writing in general, or study, because she's got this book and the pen, and she's like looking off in the distance. It's kind of connecting to your intuition. What do I want? What's for me? Or even she could be like channeling messages through her writing. If that's not something she's focusing on, it's definitely a skill that she has, natural for her. Five of Swords again, but this time it's in reverse. So this one, again, we talked about more perspective. Who is it that, caused the injury? But this is more about after this has happened, the reconciliation, the coming together. So if there's anything from the past that you've held, I guess, a grudge or resentment towards, there's going to be reconciliation to that. And this could be connected to her home and environment. So someone in her workplace or someone in her family home. It would be one of those two options. Okay, but she's definitely helping to heal others just by being herself here in the Strength card, and she is making a plan. She's got something in her back pocket, is what I can see from that card. Like, she has a plan B as well. So if anything happens with LOONA, which I guess with all groups eventually stuff happens, I feel like she's already got her, like, something there that she can just whip out and be like, all right, time to initiate plan 3283, you know? Like, she's on it. All right, so Yeojin. Ugh, please help me. Yeojin. Okay, let's go. Oops. Okay. Well, since I pulled out that one, we have a lot of reversals in here. Usually that's like letting go, or it could be that we're reminiscing a lot of the past. Here, Page of Swords. So, Page of Swords in reverse is about our self-expression. This is about someone who talks a lot about what they want, but they don't actually take action on it, or they're a bit like they take half, action. Excuse me. But they want things to happen quickly. Her energy is a bit more scattered than the previous ones that we've looked at. She kind of wants things to happen. She really wants to be able to express herself, but she talks a lot about what she wants to happen, but she doesn't actually act on it. So there is a element of like her own, I don't know, it's like an insecurity, something where she's not like, why aren't you acting on it? You say you really want this. Do you really want this? Your words and your actions aren't aligning. Do you know what I mean? We've got Seven of Wands here. So our Seven of Wands in reverse. This one is about being overwhelmed and feeling kind of like you need to go back into your shell. Say if you were a turtle, you're just like, okay, there's just too much going on out there. I'm just gonna, protect myself, go back into my shell. So she may be overprotective of herself and her emotions, which may be why she comes across as a bit like ingenuine or something. I don't feel like that's an intentional thing. She's just overwhelmed. Like, okay, this is my reality right now, and I don't know how to deal with it. Type of thing. Our King of Pentacles here. This is someone who is stubborn and who is obsessed with money. This is a more masculine energy. Unless she has... who is this? It's probably more someone outside of herself. Let me know if you think that she is a more masculine or more feminine energy. But, yeah. So this could be like your father or uncle or somebody who is just putting pressure on you to make money, to look a certain way. Like everything is about the outer appearance. It's not really about depth or anything. It's more about status, about wealth. In the negative side of a King of Pentacles, that could be someone she's got her eye on, although there aren't really any other lovers cards around. We've got two masculines around her. We also have Page of Pentacles. So there is a job offer coming to her, and it's through somebody else. This is someone recommending her for something, or someone coming up to her and being like, handing her something. You know how she's all talk and no action? Someone's actually going to just literally hand something to her. So she's very fortunate in that way. We also have our Temperance. So it's interesting that pretty much everyone has had a major arcana card. From what I can tell. So, Temperance is about balance. It's also, when it's in reversed, it's imbalanced. Again, that all talk, no action. She needs to realign herself and heal herself. And Temperance, when we think of it as like tempering a sword or a weapon or something, you have to heat it up, you got to bang it, you've got like, there's a process that it goes through that can be quite rigorous and harsh. Like they're literally smashing this thing to get it, you know, to the shape that they need it to be, where it's in perfect form, so to speak. And this, she's kind of going through a bit of the more, you know, rougher side of tempering, rather than, it's like we haven't reached our perfection yet. We're going through it here. And next to that, we have our King of Wands. Or is this King or Knight? Let me see. It's King. All right. So I was right. King of Wands. So this guy is impulsive, hasty, ruthless, has very high expectations. She's aligning herself with a lot of masculine energy that seems to be shallow. Seems to really not value her as a person. I don't know if this is family. I don't know if this is potential interests or just staff members, people in the workplace. But she seems to be seeking their approval. Now, I don't think that's the best thing for her to do, but that is where she's at. So, you know, to each their own. We've all got to go through our lessons, and this is part of her tempering process. So I understand. Okay. Four of Pentacles here as well in reverse. So Four of Pentacles, usually this is when we need to look after ourselves. But this, again, connects to this card in that we need to protect ourselves. And she's being too overprotective of herself. In contrast to the previous girl who learnt to be the strength, learnt to be vulnerable, and how that helps to connect to other people. She is more wanting to be perfect, wanting to look perfect, wanting to be the perfect person, but it makes it very difficult for other people to connect to her because of that. So she's going through the tempering process in order to really... She's trying to perfect herself, but she's going to hit a lot of bumps, you know, along the way. And eventually she's going to get to a place where she will have to go deeper within and find those answers and really, you know, expand herself. That's not really where she's at right now. At the current moment we're here. So she's still looking for approval from the wrong kind of places, and letting that set what her value is, her self-worth, you know, rather than coming from herself and knowing that she's valuable and that she's, you know, lovable and loved. So there is an offer coming to her though, so that's something to look forward to. All right, Vivi, we're up to. I believe we're up to Vivi. Please tell me that I didn't... Okay, I'm going to move my little mouse on the screen here. Vivi. I'll move it on the screen so that I can tell where I'm up to. Vivi. We've got a budgie named Vivi. Well, my sister does, but it's cute. She sleeps like a cat, that budgie. She thinks she's a cat or something. Like it's just weird to see a budgie kind of curl up and like tuck their foot in and have a nap like on their side. Very bizarre bird. Anyway, Vivi the person. Okay. Right. So the theme around her is getting over betrayal, moving on from things, rising from the ashes, from your disappointments and unmet expectations. Six of Cups. So we've got Six of Cups, and these are both kings. There's two kings here, just like in the previous reading, but they're upright this time. So Six of Cups. This is about living in the past and forgiving things from the past. So she's being very, very nostalgic here again, rising up from the ashes. All right. And, but it's also that she's become more serious because of that. She's less likely to be so flirtatious and playful with people. You know, just off the cuff, I would say. But we have a King of Wands and King of Pentacles. Now, let's have a look at these in their upright position. So, our King of Pentacles, he is somebody who is, you know, probably owns his own business or is very well off financially. They're definitely good bosses or managers, so leaders. They're very disciplined, so they get their stuff done. And they're very affluent, not only in finances, of course, but in other areas of their life as well. They like that abundance and prosperity. King of Wands here as well. He is another natural born leader. So we've got two leaders. They're also two, you know, well, we don't have any queens. So these are the other half to the queens, of course. He is more the entrepreneur, more creative than the King of Pentacles is. While he can have his own business, I feel like when you see a King of Pentacles, they're more in a traditional or standard business, whereas a King of Wands would be, you know, more creative, could be like into video editing or YouTube or, you know, artistic, that kind of thing. Doesn't mean that they can't be in a traditional workplace, but, you know, when it comes to songwriting and all of that stuff, King of Wands is would be a more prominent energy around there. And they're also, they have a big thing about being honorable and, you know, making sure that people see them as, you know, nothing less than, I guess. They take pride in that. Not always a bad thing. He's upright in his positive energy, so it's a good thing. And that means that for the women or other people around him, he will also want them to be treated and, you know, have that same mentality, you know. So he'll treat people very nicely as well, be very generous. So she's got two masculine energies around her. We also have the Hermit, which means she's withdrawing and trying to sort stuff out. So this could be two opportunities of romance, actually. Please don't freak out. I know K-pop readings and romance sometimes cause a bit of panic. Try not to panic. It is here though. So work connections, or well, it would be more likely one's more business end, and then one could be someone who is in line with the kind of job that she does. So even if they're behind the scenes, whereas this person may not actually be connected to the workplace at all, but they would be successful in their own right in like a different industry. So our Hermit card upright is soul searching, trying to, you know, be alone, not really ready to be in a relationship. And then we have our Five of Wands here, which means that there's some sort of conflict here. And then Four of Swords means she needs her own space. So maybe there are people trying to get her attention here, and she's just decided to kind of withdraw from it and not to face the situation. It could even be just because they're here, it's causing a conflict for her, where she needs to kind of withdraw and be like, okay, I need to think about this. I need to put it on ice, so to speak, with this card, you know, literal ice bed. So that's kind of what I see here. She's not really pursuing this, I don't feel. She's just trying to gain her bearings and see where things go. Yeah, there's the temperance card, but it's upright this time. There's the accusations and there's her working on herself. So that's kind of what I see. I mean, it's not that she might not be engaging with these people. Maybe that's just something that we're not supposed to see, and that's fine. But I'm not actually being shown it, so I can't say that is happening. But there does appear to be a withdrawal, a conflict, and then her, like, putting things on ice and really meditating and figuring what she wants to do rather than taking action. So gaining perspective, getting more, like, clarity on what she really wants, I guess. Interesting. So, let's have a look. Move my little mouse. Kim Lip. That's an interesting name for Kim. This video is going really long, so we will get there eventually. Alright. Do you know how I said someone else is getting an offer around her? Kim. It kind of feels like the overall energy around her is people taking opportunities from her and giving them to other people. She's definitely committed and going to, commit herself to LOONA, to this process. It can also indicate, like I said before, studying. I do feel like there's going to be a process of her taking off that protective armor. This is sort of almost stepping into that strength type of energy, but it's like not quite there yet because it's the Knight of Cups in reverse. So our Knight of Cups in reverse, we have got someone who is possibly a little bit jealous or unrealistic, and they're overly imaginative. So that can come into play with this card as well. But our Nine of Pentacles tells me she is in a good position financially here. It is definitely self-sufficient, and she's independent. So she has accomplished financially what she wants to and feels comfortable with. And she's just like, okay. But then there's this insecurity coming in and this willingness to commit. Even though she does have a bit of that overactive imagination, a lot of us do have that, especially as women, I feel like we can get carried away. But it's good to see that it's here, that it's acknowledged. So it means that she's working on it. So props to you, Kim. And then the Hierophant. So she really takes her time to work through those expectations and those things. Okay, it's like what's realistic, what isn't, before she can, commit herself to something. And overall, it does feel like maybe there are opportunities being redirected from her for some reason, where it's leaving her feeling a bit left out, feeling like there's a lack of choices. And there's our Knight of Wands. So maybe this is someone who's influencing her emotions a bit here. Secret. Okay. So clarifying our Knight of Wands. This is someone who's causing her to overthink. It's something that's the moon, so there's stuff that's yet to be seen. It's secretive. We don't know about it. There's probably no way for us to see this. It would be personal to her. And also, Ace of Cups in reverse means that it's actually not really a genuine connection. This person's not serious about her, that they're just kind of messing with her, I guess. And she knows it. And that's why she's like, I'm recommitting myself to my work, to my studies, to myself. Really. So that's interesting. T. We still have a few more to go. JinSoul. justice is around her. If anyone's got any legal issues with her, anyone trying to break up contracts or anything, watch out, because it's going to go in her favor. She will come up triumphant. You try to pick a fight with her, she's going to come off looking a lot better than you are right now. So that's the current energy around her. Also, it could mean that any new contracts that come in are actually very good. They're favorable for her. Ace of Wands, that's our love card. How come we're getting a lot of love right now? The world means we're coming to full cycle when it comes to love and relationships, and this is an unequal partnership. So where either she's putting in all the work or the other person's putting in all the work. Here, and there's the transformation. There's our boss or, daddy kind of card, and Two of Wands. So the way forward for her is not very clear. You see like the mountains on fire, you would think, oh, that's where I need to go. But for her, it's like, oh, I can't see that. It's more like her head's in the water. She needs to lift up above the water, and then she'll see this mountain that's on fire and be like, oh, that's where I'm going type of thing. There is that Emperor energy who is more controlling over her and getting in the way of that perspective for her to really gain that foresight. Currently, it doesn't mean she never will. I feel like she will. It's just that this person's going to delay that process for her. Death, which we've gone over, is transformation. So we've got changing of the card, so to speak. It could be... I was going to say it could be like going from a singer to a rapper, but I don't feel like that's a significant enough change to warrant a death card. Do you know what I mean? Could be a change in the dynamic between her and this emperor. Maybe she was favored and now isn't. A process that needed to happen, because this up here, unequal partnership. One person's doing all the work and the payoff for it isn't there. You're furthering someone else's goals. So Ace of Wands is also what we're very passionate about too. Two major arcana cards, so she's got a lot of things happening coming up for her, big things that are helping her to grow and expand here, and also travel. This does indicate travel, so she may be, I know no one's traveling right now, but this may be on the mind. There may be a plan for that she's coming up with, or that's being spoken about. Oh, how am I going to pronounce this name? Choerry? I want to say Cherry, but it's Choerry. Choerry? I just wanted to fly out that card. Okay, so her overall theme is feeling like she hasn't made it. Feeling like she doesn't have everything that she needs. It's a little bit of investing in work and then not investing so much in yourself. So she's a bit off balance. And here, again, over investing in work. So because of that, she's either going to reject an opportunity or it will be, withdrawn from her, just like in the previous reading, how things may have been shifted. Sometimes this will happen like divinely, energetically, because you need this to happen and you're not taking the action to move forward in the position, like to do what you need to do for yourself. So it's being snatched. Your wig is being snatched, I guess. So to speak. But Magician and other major arcana cards, so she's got everything she needs. Very creative. She can go in whatever direction she wants. She can manifest what she wants. And what she needs is the process that's happening. Very resourceful. She's very I guess she can take inspiration from others and really turn it into something here. All right, but there seems to be with this one a lost opportunity with this. And that could also come into this. But she needs to more balance herself here. And this card has come up again. Gaining perspective, who hurt who, what's my, accountability in this situation, how did I contribute to this? Not that it's her fault, but it's just saying in every situation we can look at it and see, well, how did I contribute and to this? It's not 100% someone else's fault usually. There is even a small element of, I just let certain things slide. Now I need to remember not to do that anymore. It's because this is really important to me. She is going to be performing more. He's our Knight of Wands again. King of Wands, I mean. King of Wands again. So this could be someone around her workplace. She's definitely going to be performing. I feel like she could be performing this person's song, or this person wrote the lyrics for this song, but for some reason maybe she doesn't align with the lyrics of the song is kind of what this is showing me here. But you're going to do it anyway, right? For the money, because you're supposed to do it right, but this isn't where you're meant to be. Like, you can manifest and you're a powerful person who needs to work more on themselves. So she's going to come across more situations like that until she gets it, really. All right. Yves. I think that's how you say it. Yves. Does anyone else love that song where she's in the bowling alley? That's the best. Okay. Yves. I'm just going to say Yves, and I'm sorry if it's wrong. Okay, people are talking about her. The overall energy around her is people are talking crap about her. Alright, she may be not being invited to parties or celebrations. It could just be on a small level, people doing some gossipy or like that girly catty behavior around her. Now, it's interesting that she has the Magician in reverse, which means that this is manipulation and untapped talents. Very talented person when we put this up right, like in the previous one. Very talented person. This is untapped. She's also, her talents are being manipulated. All right. And this is that anxiety about it, not wanting to stand up for yourself, not knowing your worth, having those opportunities pulled from you. So it could be a taking her talent and using it somewhere else, and then manipulating the people around her by allowing this gossip to happen. We also have Eight of Pentacles here. This is about an apprenticeship, possibly, so learning from other people. It's about mastering your skills and skill development, which is the industry they're in. Practice every day. So she's very diligent in doing that. We have a Queen of Wands around her. So this is another feminine energy who may be taking some of or benefiting from this, whether it is to their knowledge or not. They may not realize it. So it could actually be another member, but they're all up in their ego a bit, and they feel like their prime time has come and gone. So I don't know if they were really popular in the group and for some reason the dynamics have shifted and now they're a bit aggressive and demanding and trying to hold on to that place, but they come across, this energy connects very well with our Three of Cups in reverse here. And Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles definitely imbalanced, overcommitted, or disorganized, or not. You're prioritizing the wrong things. So this person seems to be trying to influence her to prioritize things that she doesn't need to prioritize. She really needs to be practicing and working and, doing her own thing, separating more from the gossip side of things. So, a lot. We'll see how that plays out. Okay. Let's try to get to the last 3. Again, please tell me if I've missed anybody. Oops, and we'll go over it. Chuu. That's a cute name. Chuu. Queen of Wands again. Okay, so we've got 2 of Pentacles, but this time it's upright. We have Queen of Wands, and this time it's upright. So a lot of our girls are mirroring each other, like you'll have, as you've seen in the reading, in clusters. You kind of have certain people mirroring each other in their experiences, which is interesting. So, 2 of Pentacles. This is about multitasking, definitely managing your priorities and being able to adapt to new and different situations. So, very useful. When unexpected things come up, she's going to be very good at dealing with them. Our Queen of Wands energy. So, we have someone who is... Queen of Wands in her upright position is definitely more, instead of being aggressive, that aggression is redirected into passion. It is more positive. This is the person that people think is super sexy, that they're like very attracted to. They have like a really strong, I'm trying to think of the word, but it's an energy that people are just like, wow, you're amazing. I want to get to know you. They're very warm. They're very encouraging to other people, and they're very determined. They know what they want and they're gonna go and get it. So, but very that more sensual feminine energy with the Queen of Wands. We also have got our 6 of Swords. So in this particular card, it reminds me a lot of the Chariot. So this is more about movement, stopping, halting. Yeah, I did say swords. For some reason I was thinking of cups. I'm like, no, that's not right. Cups. But yeah, in this card, it's like things stopping. It is about your personal change. So if you've got anything from the past that you haven't dealt with within yourself, this is going to be what your goal is, to heal those wounds, to be able to move forward and not allow them to affect your actions going forward. And of course, here we kind of have like, oh, the path's not so clear of where we're going. Instead of going up, I'm going downhill. Like, what happened? I'm meant to be going uphill. I'm a bit confused in the direction of where I'm going. So she may have a lot of passions and hobbies and different ideas of where she wants to go, but hasn't. It's not clear yet of where she would like to end up. That speaks to me very much of like a Gemini energy, even though this is a fire card, but it's kind of like we're a bit all over the place. For her, it's beneficial to be multitasking and have multiple things to work on, but you got to be careful not to be a jack of all trades and master of none, or not to finish any of the projects that you work on, kind of thing. Jack of all trades, that's not such a bad thing. That's kind of like me, but because it's fun, it's interesting, right? And you get to explore different things. So yeah, I feel like she knows the direction she wants to go in. It's just she seems to be going to get there in a roundabout way. It's like, I'm going to go up and down and around and before I eventually get there. All right. We have go 1. Whoops, a daisy. Alright, so I feel like I don't know what position she holds, but we have 10 of Wands in reverse, so she's had a lot of burdens on her back, so to speak. She's been taking on too much and kind of avoiding responsibility at the same time. It's almost like doing favors for other people. She feels like it's a way of getting out of doing other things for some reason. So that's That's the type of energy around her. So she's avoiding something. Our Eight of Wands could be what she's avoiding. So this is, again, delays, frustration, not reaching out for what you truly want. The Star is a very positive card. Hope, prosperity. Like, it's more about our spiritual side, so renewal of our spirituality, of our purpose. The Star is literally like a celebrity as well. So it's right there for her, but she feels uncomfortable with the idea of being a celebrity. So that's kind of the thing. It's weird. It's like she's avoiding it, but it's what she wants, but it's a bit And also, this reminds me of singing, because she's in this card, the person is like a shell and they're playing music. So that is nice here. Queen of Cups in reverse. So I feel like she's trying to avoid certain things. She feels like the celebrity has kind of changed her personality a bit in how she can express herself. So she's more codependent. She's definitely trying to look after herself, and she's pursuing, self-love, and she does take appropriate action to, look after that in herself that she needs to. But she's become a bit too codependent on other people, and it's just a bit of a struggle. Like, she's not her upright Queen of Cups. She's still that person people look to for advice. I don't know how she fits in the group age-wise. Even if she's the youngest, I don't care. That's the energy of, like, the motherly figure that people go to for advice. They value your advice. You're very caring and nurturing, and listen to other people, and have opinions that come from a place of love and that are, softer, so people like to go to you, kind of thing. So that's what is around her. Trying to avoid things. Celebrity's uncomfortable for her. And she doesn't really feel like she can express herself in that more positive side of her personality at the current moment. She just needs to kind of deal with and get her head around celebrity, what that means, and, the reality of it. Because it's there. So I don't know if she is popular at the moment within the members of the group. If not, then that could very well be coming for her. Even if it's not within LOONA, there could be something else she does that seems to push that forward for her. Or maybe even after LOONA, she ends up going on to do something bigger. All right. Olivia, is this the last one? I think so. Thank goodness. Okay. Just because, we're not going to get subtitles on this video because it's over an hour, so oh well. I try to keep it under an hour because then you can have the automatic subtitles. That's okay. I don't mind it going longer. Olivia. Okay, girl. Does she like slang, like talk? I don't mean like swearing. I just mean, do you know what I mean? Like how we would say things like lit and I don't say that, but it's an internet thing. What are other things? I guess back in the day people were like groovy baby, yeah. Austin Powers moments. But do you know what I mean? It's like cute slang, not aggressive FU slang. Anyway, she's a cutie. I don't care if she comes across as being, hard. She has a marshmallowy soft center. Marshmallowy soft. Very interesting. This looks very similar to one of our other people. I wonder if they're close friends. Tell me if you can remember which one it was that had, like, basically almost the same cards. So, we have strength. This time it's in reverse. We have also got King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Death again, but this is her overall energy. We have Ten of Cups. We also have Six of Wands and the Hierophant. So Strength in reverse is about doubting yourself and being all raw emotion. So instead of allowing your vulnerabilities to inspire and to heal and help other people, you're more on the other end of it, a little bit overwhelmed by emotion in this case. So self-doubt, confidence issues. We've got King of Wands next to that, so he's causing it. This has to be someone connected in their career somewhere. I don't know if it's a trainer or a singing coach or something, but he is definitely someone who has very high expectations of her, therefore she's under a lot of pressure. And then we also have our Knight of Pentacles. So again, she could be trying to write something, or somebody's trying to write something for her. But we have someone who's very hardworking, productive, and they're good at their routine. They stick to it. Here we also have got our Ten of Cups in reverse. So Ten of Cups normally is a really good card when it's upright. In reverse, we start to have a few problems here because we're disconnected. So this would be specifically, she would be disconnected from her family in some kind of way, or even potentially the other group members, because that, I guess, could be a type of family. But it's also, she's struggling within her relationships. She's struggling to move forward with that area of her life because of the expectations that are being put on her here. We also have Six of Wands, so I don't know if she is trying not to be center stage or is more in the background when it comes to their performances for whatever her position is. A lack of confidence and a fall from grace. Again, this is another person who may have been more popular or may have been, publicized more, who seems to, maybe a scandal came up or something happened and then she kind of falls back a bit for some reason. I don't know if it's obvious to you guys what that would have been, but we'll see. And this could be directly connected, because they're next to each other, to a falling out of that relationship, whether that's within the group because of her own self-conscious, self-esteem issues. I keep losing the word I'm trying to say. But we also have the Hierophant here, which is about commitment. So her commitment is being tested. People may be questioning her commitment to the group. Are you really committed? Her personal beliefs could be changing, and she can be, like the overall theme for them was, challenging what's normal, the status quo, I guess is what you would say. Okay, so this could be something that comes from her and then feeds into the rest of the group, since that was their overall energy. But she's definitely in alignment with it, or will be. Death card here. So transformation and change and transitioning into something else. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. She's definitely in that transitional period in her life right now when it comes to LOONA and her career and her love life, her family life, her emotional life here. And there does seem to be a question of her commitment that will come up. Yeah, it's you're not taking the opportunities that you need to. There's, you need to take accountability for your own actions, and there's the Star here. So we do have the Star. But this is more people just questioning and being, I guess, there are a lot of high expectations of her because a lot of people can see the potential in her. This puts pressure on her and makes her feel insecure. And she tries to cope with it and kind of overcompensates a little bit, disconnecting emotionally from friends, family, or the group. And people start to question her, commitment to it because they feel like she's not taking the opportunity she should be. But she is definitely still working towards bettering herself. But this is kind of the energy around her. So, all right. So, I'm pretty sure I got everyone. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I'm sure you guys will let me know. Anyway, thank you so much to the LOONA fan who booked this reading. We appreciate you very much. And I'm going to get this video out. I look forward to hearing the feedback. I think this time we went more in depth with each individual member, but we did also do the overall group kind of snapshots. So let me know what you guys think and how you feel they all connect together. And we'll come back and see, in the future how this played out. Thank you guys so much for watching this incredibly long video, and I wish you and your loved ones all the very best. Bye bye.